Seeing the good is a definitive skill. I've noticed myself genuinely picking apart everything around me, only looking at the bad stuff instead of appreciating and seeing what good there is lying right in front of my eyes. Picture any skill. The better you get at that skill, whether it be playing piano or being a craftsman, working on things, right? You're able to see the flaws. Um, say I'm a climber. The better I get at climbing, the more I'm able to see the errors that I make in technique or the errors that other people make in technique because I'm better. I'm getting more well versed with that skill and I'm understanding it more at a fundamental level. And the same thing goes for life in general. The more we understand and that we experience life, the better we get at diagnosing and kind of picking apart the negative aspects of it. And if this goes unchecked, then it leads almost directly to cynicism. And cynicism feels intelligent because people around you might think that if this guy can pick apart every negative aspect about something, then he's probably smart. Or if he has, the intelligence to perceive these things that we may not have, then he's probably smart. But the thing is that cynicism is a very kind of blunt and dark road. It doesn't really lead anywhere if you let it take over your life. You just start to see the bad and you let that guide and direct your route, and you end up as a grumpy old man who doesn't really like to do things because all he can see is the bad in them. But this also goes the opposite way. When you get good at a skill, when you get good at, say you're a composer, you can better appreciate the beautiful music that you're hearing or the amazing symphonies that someone else wrote. Like, imagine you are Mozart or you're someone on par with Mozart. Oh, if you ever watched Amadeus, the guy that I forget his name, but he's like the guy that was Mozart. Mozart looked up to him, and then he started composing music. And when he saw Mozart's music, he like collapsed. He started like tearing up because it was so beautiful. So when you get more proficient at something, when you get better at a skill, you are able to also see the beauty. You are able to see the better aspects of it as well. But I've noticed that people nowadays are favoring looking at the negative, and I don't blame them. I mean, think about it. The news, all sources of media, I mean, they literally get paid to just keep spewing you the same negative stuff. I mean, you've probably heard the quote like, the news is never changing, it's just the people that it affects. Like, 50 years ago, buildings were burning. Today, buildings are burning. It's just the different people that it affects and is being broadcasted. I mean, the stuff never changes, but it's the same negative stuff that kind of just like makes you have a bad mood or makes you think you're, in a bad position or you should be scared or something. But I think that only leads to a very negative life. I mean, if you keep ruminating and thinking about all these negative things, then eventually that's what your life is going to be made up of. I mean, there's a study where it's like, maybe not a study, but I've heard about it, where if you think of negative thoughts more often, negative things are more bound to happen to you because that's all you're ruminating about. That's all that's really like going on in your mind. So you're innately drawn to more negative stuff. But what I think we should try to build and be conscious about is the skill that is seeing the good in life because it benefits us immensely. I mean, the amount of joy, the amount of fulfillment, the amount of satisfaction that we can get from just simply appreciating the beauty that is innate within our lives is like never ending. It's boundless, essentially. And a lot of us just don't take the time to understand what it takes to appreciate that beauty. We're too wrapped up or distracted by all of the things happening in our life, whether that be scrolling on our phone or, going out with friends or just all of the things that take our attention away from building the skill of appreciating things that we have. And I'm not saying that you have to like prioritize building this one skill, but the thing is that if you can see the good, inevitably you are going to live a better life. Like, of course, our ability to see the negative things in life has evolved. I mean, we're supposed to be able to pick out the things that are dangerous. You know, our ancestors 5,000 years ago, they needed to have the ability to see the negative things, to see the bad things, to be able to judge whether or not they should go forward with their day and like actually maybe go hunt instead of staying inside and whatever. You get the point. I feel like I'm rambling along with this, so I'm just gonna say like it's easy to see the negative. It's easy to kind of sit back and pick things apart. It's easy to be an observer sitting outside of the arena, you know, criticizing the man inside fighting. But I think what we should really try to prioritize is seeing the good, seeing the positive aspects of our life. I'm going to end this with a quote. I saw a TikTok the other day. It was talking about a man had an injured finger. I just ruined the entire quote. The quote goes like this. The man touches his head and he's filled with a sense of pain. The man touches his leg and he's filled with pain. The man touches the wall and he's filled with pain. He goes to a doctor to see about why he's feeling such pain. And the doctor says that your head isn't broken, your leg isn't broken, the wall isn't scorching hot, your finger's broken. It's your mind that's broken. If whatever you do, you interact with, you can see the bad, you see only the negative, only the potential bad outcomes, instead of favoring the beauty, the positivity, and the potential good that can come from it. It's essentially like having a broken mind where you can only feel pain. So I think we should really try to prioritize seeing the good. All right. Have a good day.